The first hour 45 is like this hard-boiled politics, deal-making, power brokering, portraying the Vatican as a worldly political institution with factions and alliances, and like there's votes to win, and as people have said, politics is about winning, and so the goal of the conclave is to have your faction win, because that decides the soul of the Vatican for the next generation, right? Because this is an appointment for life, and this person, like whoever gets elected, might be on the throne for half a century, right? So it's important who wins the conclave, right? And if you want to tell a story about the battle for the soul of the church, right, then you can tell that in an intelligent way. And the director has shown that he's capable of doing this in the first hour 45, because that is very nuanced, very subtle. It makes choices like making the Nigerian cardinal a bad guy. I did not expect that. Right? Yeah. You know what I mean, right? You could have made this preachier by having the Nigerian cardinal be a saint, right? And having the Italian one be, like the next Mussolini, right? But no, the guy is flawed. Like, he's made mistakes and he's politically untenable. And Lawrence has a choice to make on whether or not to make this public and kill probably the best chance his side has for winning, right? Like, once...
You're talking about the what's his name? The African guy.
So Cardinal Adeyemi. He's the Nigerian candidate. Yeah. And he had the sex scandal, right, for 30 years ago. And the American cardinal engineers a situation where the woman who had his child happens to be assigned to essentially catering. And so they run into each other. And so there's a scene. And so he's no longer tenable, right? Having an African pope would be a big statement, right, for the church. And he's also politically viable, right? He's the strongest candidate on the reformer camp. But he had the scandal. That means if we elect him, we're continuing with, the tradition of cover-ups that we've had for the past century. Yeah. Right. So that is an interesting dilemma. Like, if you want to write interesting political stories, you put in dilemmas like this, where you have to make a choice, and each choice comes with a cost, right? So they have shown that they are capable of doing this. But then when it comes to the election of Benitez, right? The guy's just a saint. Like, he knows the right thing to do. But he doesn't have to, like, he knows the right thing to say, but he doesn't have to do anything. There's no indication that he is a good political leader. There's no indication that he would be a good pope, other than he says the right things, but we don't even know if he's sincere, right? The previous pope seems to have believed it, because he orchestrated this whole conspiracy to maneuver Benitez into place. Right, so the idea is essentially he made Benitez a cardinal in secret and kind of hid him away in Afghanistan, right? That's something that's not even an official, I don't know what the name is. I think parish is the wrong congregation, I guess. And he kind of just shows up at the last minute, surprising everybody. And he just sits back and he keeps gathering votes. It's not even clear why anybody votes for him, because he hasn't said anything yet. Yeah. He seems to be completely inexperienced. But then he's voted, like, pretty much out of nowhere, is voted Pope in the end. And that is viewed as a big step forward. I think there is good stuff here. My problem is just with how one-dimensional Benitez is, and how heavy-handed this whole thing is. Like, this whole messaging at the end is. Actually show us him doing this, instead of just having him be a fully formed saint that doesn't have to prove anything, and just have him be good because of who and what he is. Because that's what the movie ends up saying. And I think that's reductive and not a very good message.
Because I think the reason why they did that approach is because the whole angelic approach. Because like I said, he feels like he's borderline sinless the way that he was behaving. So I think so I think they were trying. So I think that was the reason why they didn't really do much with his character, because they said, okay, this guy's pretty much the Jesus of the whole group. So you know what I'm saying? So yeah. So he practically walk on water. You know what I'm saying? So but I hear what you're saying, and I do agree.
Everybody is a little bit flawed and kind of realizes the political realities of this environment, right? But Benitez is shielded from all of it, and it makes him like the least interesting character in this entire movie. It doesn't have to be this way. Like, what if he's the best candidate they've had in 100 years, but people will not vote for him because of what he is?
Yeah.
Like, that's an actual dilemma.
Yeah.
And it could have been so much better if it had just stuck to its own rules and the way it portrays characters and conflicts and dilemmas, and simply applied that to its hero, right? Who is Benitez.